So thank you for joining me again today. I want to remind everybody that safety is paramount with the kind of sweltering heat we're having right now. I hope you've been able to stay safe this week as we're dealing with our first sustained heat wave so far this year. And these conditions are supposed to continue through the weekend. Severe levels of heat can be very dangerous, so it's important that everyone take heat warnings seriously. It's important to know how to best deal with extreme heat. First of all, stay out of the sun as much as possible. If you do have to work outside, take breaks, drink plenty of water, keep yourself hydrated, and protect yourself with sunscreen or have someone check on you occasionally. If you employ outdoor workers, make sure you're following best practices to keep everyone safe, including allowing new workers to take more frequent breaks and providing water and shade. Also, check your friends, family, and neighbors and pets to ensure that they're safe. Become familiar with signs of heat exposure like heat cramps, which include painful muscle spasms, usually impacting someone's legs or abdomen. Heat exhaustion comes with cool, moist, pale, or flushed skin. It can also involve dizziness, nausea, headaches, and weakness. A heat stroke is the most serious of these three. It comes from overexposure to the heat. Symptoms include red, hot, dry skin, and short, quick breaths. You may also notice weak pulse or see someone pass out from the heat. Call 911 immediately if you come across someone who is exhibiting symptoms of heat stroke. Pregnant women, newborns, children, and older adults may all experience problems before anyone else. People are already sick or battling chronic illness. They may also be taking medication that complicates how their bodies are able to cool down. Plan out your meals so you can limit how much you use your oven or stove. Making sandwiches, adding more fruits to your diet, or preparing salads are all good substitutes. You can also seek out foods with high water content, like watermelon and citrus. Hot weather does not have to make us prisoners in our own homes, but being prepared for the heat and watching for signs of trouble are easy ways to protect yourself and your loved ones. If you need a cool place, you can seek out the county's libraries and rec centers during normal operating hours. Stay on top of the latest warnings by downloading the Alert Montgomery app or paying attention to weather updates. You can also follow me on social media to get the latest updates. There's also information on the county website at montgomerycountymd.gov/heat. I'm happy to announce that this week the County Council confirmed Marc to serve as the next Chief of Montgomery County Police Department. I want to thank the Council for their support, and I look forward to working with him in this new position following the retirement of Chief Marcus Jones on June 30th. Chief Yamada has had a great career with MCPD that has been marked by dedication, courage, and unwavering commitment to the safety and well-being of our community. He'll be the first Japanese-American leader of our police department. He's the first person in his family who was born in the United States, and he grew up in Wheaton. I think his background fits perfectly with the kind of inclusive and diverse community Montgomery County has become. Our police department has made significant strides over the last few years, and I'm proud to say we now have one of the best law enforcement institutions in the nation, and we continue to work to make it better. I believe under Chief Yamada's leadership that the department will enhance the good work that's already been done. As a graduate from Einstein High School, former MCPS school teacher, current MCPS grandparent, I'm happy to congratulate and welcome Dr. Thomas Taylor as the new superintendent for Montgomery County Public Schools. His selection was announced this week with an official vote from the school board coming on June 25th. Our schools are a key reason people choose to live in Montgomery County and why businesses relocate or stay here. Maintaining MCPS's quality of education, academic rigor, commitment to inclusion, and our reputation as one of the best public school systems is essential. Dr. Taylor, a Montgomery County native and MCPS graduate, joins us at a time when our schools face significant challenges, particularly with things like transparency, funding, and class sizes. We welcome Dr. Taylor's energy and engagement. I think we all understand the urgency of the situation. I look forward to working with him in this important role that impacts our children, our workforce, our home values, our economic development opportunities. All of this affect our future. Over the past week, our county has seen an enormous outpouring of support for Juneteenth commemorations. We kicked it off last Friday by honoring our community's African American legends. These are 6 remarkable people who've done tremendous contributions to the community, and I was very pleased that we were able to honor them. Last Saturday, we had our annual Juneteenth celebration at Black Rock, which I also attended, as well as the kickoff event for the Scotland Juneteenth Heritage Festival. I want to thank the many people who worked on the Juneteenth celebrations, especially the Scotland community that hosted days of activities focused on youth development, interfaith reflection, and honoring our past. Before I cut to the video, I just want to make a couple of other comments about Juneteenth because a lot of people don't know what the holiday celebrates. Juneteenth is celebrated June 19th to commemorate the liberation of the last slaves in Texas and the end of slavery in the United States completely. For many people, obviously, the 4th of July and the Declaration of Independence didn't mean very much. In the black community of the time, most of them enslaved people, those are pretty hollow words. The idea about the rights of men and all men are created equal rang pretty hollow for a very long time. Juneteenth was celebrated by the communities in Texas that experienced that liberation, but the holiday's grown in importance and it's being recognized around the country. And so this is an important holiday for the African American community in Montgomery County. And I encourage people to take advantage of some of the events to learn a little bit more about it and to get familiar with this holiday. It is as important as the 4th of July for folks in the community because it really does symbolize the end of slavery, something that was not accomplished with our Constitution. Last Friday, we sent the rent stabilization regulations to the County Council. These are the regulations to implement the rent stabilization that was passed by the Council last year. This legislation was a compromise from what I supported, but it's definitely an important step forward and a critical step in protecting residents from predatory price gouging. So many people talk about the housing affordability crisis, and rent stabilization is an important part of addressing the affordable housing crisis. These regulations and policies are designed to help renters struggling to keep up with rapidly increasing housing costs, which threaten their ability to remain in their homes. Tens of thousands of families in our county devote too much of their take-home income to pay rent, and they live paycheck to paycheck. Most people can't afford an accident to their car or car repairs with the amount of money they make and often risk becoming homeless and not being able to pay rent. Too often, the only safety net is the support of our county and our community partners can give. These regulations recognize the need for property owners to maintain and invest in their properties. There are opportunities to apply for exceptions that, for example, consider major projects to improve the buildings that would allow landlords to get rent increases above the guidelines. This ensures the property owners can continue to make necessary improvements while also maintaining the viability of their properties. A fair return policy aims to balance landlord profitability with tenant affordability. Developing the regulations took 6 months, and the proposed regulations were then published for public comment. The department then carefully reviewed hundreds of pages of comment and incorporated many of the suggestions. I appreciate the feedback and consideration given to help develop the right framework that will best help our community. The regulations are now ready for approval by the County Council. We must act without delay to implement these protections for our residents. The longer we wait, the more susceptible people are to unfair rent increases that can destabilize their lives and our community. We are already seeing incidents of rent gouging, in some cases well over 25% annual increase, as landlords rush to put exorbitant rents in place before the regulations go into effect. I want to acknowledge the hard work and dedication of Dr. Scott Bruton and his team at the Department of Housing and Community Affairs. This process has been thorough and inclusive, ensuring that all voices are heard and considered. We owe it to our community to ensure that housing remains affordable and that renters are not at the mercy of unchecked rent increases. Let's move forward with enacting these regulations to uphold the spirit of the rent stabilization legislation and to protect the well-being of our residents. We started this video talking about the heat, and before I go, I'd like to revisit the sun's impact. I'd like you to hear about an exciting new project aimed at better preparing us for the future by capturing solar power and using it to help us operate our public transportation system. Last week, we had a groundbreaking for what will be the nation's largest renewable energy-powered transit depot. This will also be a microgrid to generate electricity for our buses, including clean hydrogen. It will also have on-site battery storage. By 2035, the depot will house about 200 zero-emission buses, most of which will be powered by hydrogen fuel cells. Buses fueled by hydrogen have a longer range and can refuel faster than battery electric models. This exciting project is an important part of our climate plan and will be a model for the rest of the country. But here we are talking about a hydrogen facility that's going to produce hydrogen for our hydrogen-powered buses. And we had an underlying faith that technology was evolving in the right direction and that it would help us tackle climate change. The size of Montgomery County's ride-on system is almost as large as all the other bus systems except WMATA combined. Yes, it is amazing. That's how much we do to help move people on transit and get them out of cars. And this is exciting because hydrogen buses and electric buses are the wave of the future. So I'm excited about what we're going to be able to do. So that's a wrap for today. I hope you all had a great week, and I'll be back again next week.